Manus flat on the canvas. We are ready to rock and roll. Second round of action. There is a cut on Manus.
Yeah. Jesus.
Martial arts chat.
My man B-Hop got dropped out the ring last night. I need a little judo baby. I need me a little judo baby, and let's do it, Ron. Let's give me
You see what filming this? You've got a face for radio.
I've got a face for radio.
That's nice.
Martial arts chat.
Martial arts chat.
Martial Arts Chat podcast is sponsored by A1 Fight Gear. A1 Fight Gear uses the latest cutting-edge boxing gloves for professional and amateur fighters, gym enthusiasts and kickboxers. Local and national gyms in the UK, do yourself a favour and check out a1fightgear.com. And if you're wanting to get into shape, get back into shape, then go to beastgear.co.uk. Use the coupon code MartialArtsChat to save 15% off your purchases. They've got core sliders, straps and barbell pads and complete strength and conditioning programs to suit your needs. We are also sponsored by Feel Supreme. FeelSupreme.co.uk offers CBD oil and natural nutrition. They will assist your progress in diet and lifestyle. Natural supplements and complementary services such as yoga, mind coaching and weight cutting programs. Finally, we are also sponsored by World of Martial Arts Television. WOMA.tv produces, finds, acquires, commissions and presents all you ever wanted to know about martial arts. Hello, my name's Chris Allen and this is the Martial Arts Chat podcast. Today we've got someone who's returning to the show. Last time we saw him on the show, he was holding the Cage Warriors. He was holding the light heavyweight Cage Warriors title. Unfortunately, now he hasn't got it, but that's not a bad thing, though, is it, my friend? He's now signed for the UFC. He's now on their roster, and it's Modestas Bukauskas. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, doing good, thank you, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I nearly lost my wording there as I was doing that. But I'm not one for two takes. If it's not good the first time, it's got to stick with it. It's fine.
Yeah, just got to run it through, mate. It's all right. I understand to be a little bit starstruck when talking to high-profile athletes.
Oh yeah. I'm absolutely starstruck. You know, like, I mean, there's this guy now. He's on the UFC now. I'm surprised you haven't brought out your own whiskey range already, mate. Do you know what I
mean? Don't worry, that'll be coming in a couple of years. Just wait.
That's it now. So if anyone's listening to this and they want to get in touch, you have to go through 4 different managers, then 3 sponsors, and then you might get an interview if you're lucky.
And it's a waiting process of a couple months, and then yeah. So it's crazy life nowadays.
Well, I think the last time I spoke to you was I think it was 1st or 2nd of July or something like that. You know, and after that night, that was just after the Night of Champions, wasn't it? If I remember rightly.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was literally just after I'd won the title.
Yeah, that was it. Just after you won the title, and you were talking then about thinking I want to get another fight in, and maybe we'll look at the UFC sort of stuff like that, and look where we are now. It didn't take as long as you thought.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what? And this is why everything sort of felt very, very natural and normal. I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, when I got told that I got into the UFC, obviously I was completely buzzing and it felt really surreal. I almost had to pinch myself again, because every single time I'm writing stuff on my vision board, I'm thinking, that stuff is going to happen, and obviously believing and training hard, and then it comes true, and I'm like, hold on a second, am I really dreaming? What's going on over here? But yeah, I have to admit, I think I felt a little bit more weird, I guess you could say, after I just won the belt. It almost now it just feels like, okay, this is another step in the journey. We've got to keep, you got to keep doing the same thing, keep training hard, get a fight and go show people what you're about. So I think being thrust into the spotlight a little bit more after my first fight was almost the win for the title wasn't exactly it just sort of was a bit of a crazy feeling. It wasn't exactly a shock, but it was wow, I've done it. Do you know what I mean? This is the first real big step that I've made towards making my dreams reality. So yeah, it's funny as the ball just.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say with that, when you won the title, mate, you come back from adversity because the guy did land some good shots in the first rounds, and then you came back and you finished the guy, an undefeated guy. You finished, and you actually finished the guy in round 4. You didn't just finish him, mate. You hammered him down as well.
Yeah, man, and like again, the corner team absolutely amazing. You know, my dad, Danny Batten, and Denison Sutherland, are all like veterans, like of the game. They've been training in martial arts for donkey's years, more than I have. So to have those guys in my corner, everything that they told me from the grappling, from getting up to my feet, all the stuff that we've been doing in training, and it seems like every single one of the last sequences that I do to finish my opponent, it's always my dad shouting what to do. And it's crazy that through all the noise and through all the cluster, because obviously the crowd then goes a little bit more crazy when something big sort of happens, and then it gets very loud in the arena.
Yeah.
Out of everything, I can still zone out and hear what my dad's saying. And especially in that fight, I heard him say, "The right hand will land, the right hand will land." And then next thing you know, boom, it lands. And then that was the shot that eventually led to his downfall.
There must be a father-son like telepathic thing, It must be that. It's like a mother and its baby, A mother can always sense a crying baby. It must be that sort of thing,
Yeah, like some supernatural connection or something, some cerebral thing that's going on over here.
Yeah, man. He's your Mick, mate. You're the Rocky, and he's your Mick. In your corner.
Oh my, yeah. That is honestly the best way to describe it. I don't know if you've seen. I think it's maybe Rocky 5.
I've seen them all.
I don't know why
times.
people keep hating on that film for some reason. But I love Rocky 5. I think that's one of the best ones. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the other ones are amazing, but like I really like that film, and like the part where he's sort of in the gym, sees the memory of him and Mick, and then Mick has this little like speech, and he goes, "Get up, you son of a bitch," because Mickey loves you. Like I feel like that's the sort of that's almost like the voices that go through my head, like whenever I'm fighting with my dad, like right there. And I'm sort of I want to sort of carry on his dreams as well, like because he never got the chance to show his skills to like the sort of the UFC and everything like that. And it's always been a dream of mine to also not only do things for myself and succeed and stuff like that, but I want my dad to feel like he's in there. And it's crazy because you see him in the corner, he's like literally like moving his body, like thinking like he's in there as well. And I think that's an amazing thing. And like to be able to have him almost live vicariously through myself, like. Like I've always said before to all my teammates and everything, all my family, I want everyone to sort of come up with me together so they all get the feeling of victory and satisfaction after we win all this stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's a team effort as well. Obviously, I'm the one that's in there, but if it wasn't for everyone else, I wouldn't be where I am today. So obviously, I'm very grateful.
No, man, I know what you're saying as well, but you want to bring everyone with you and share the victory. And I said I haven't known you for that long, but I met you at Cage Warriors. I've always kept in touch with you as well, and I feel like it's almost like I feel the victory with you. Like I'm thinking, I've followed you through like even before. What was it? Where was the other? Was it Super Fights? No, what was the one you won the title in? The regional one. I've forgotten now what it is. But
Fight Star Championship?
That's it, Fight Star. See, I remember that. I remember that because do you know what it is? To be honest with you, it's the name. I remember the name because I thought, that's an interesting name, in that fight all those years ago, and then obviously look where you are now. So it's nice to see like someone I've spoken to and followed for a long time has gone to the big time now.
And I really appreciate that, and like I appreciate as well. You believing in me as well. Like you said, it sort of got your attention. Like, okay, well, let's sort of watch this kid. And I never got I was sort of being brushed off to the side, really. Like, oh yeah, he's won a couple of fights. Because after I had my 2 losses, sort of, I was saying in other interviews that I've heard, no one really believed in me. Everyone sort of counted me out. They thought, oh yeah, this guy's done. He was just a massive hype train. There's nothing really about him. And then I was just like training. Like I had my road to recovery, change up a lot of things. I became fitter, stronger, and all sorts. And then I injured my leg. I literally went from the lowest point of my life to now really we're back to like one of the highest points in my life. But I know that that the road is still there's still a long way to achieve all of the things that I still set out to do in my career. And I know there's a lot more hard work and stuff that needs to go into that. So but obviously I just can't wait to live through every moment. And the thing is, I think now I have because you gotta like John Kavanagh says, you know, you win or learn, and you know, I think I definitely learned a hell of a lot after my defeats. A lot, especially mentally. I think there's a big mental thing that goes into it. Like I used to be a bit too much of a sportsman almost, and then and even now I try and be respectful in the cage and this and that. But at the same time, you've got to have like this ferocity inside you, like ready to like sort of let out. You got to have that kill or be killed mentality. Like in my last fight, although I came up to the guy, I wanted to help him up, and I felt like real genuine sympathy for him because I was like, bloody hell. Like, you know, he was stumbling a little bit when we stood up, because he's a good fella. Like, he said nothing bad about me. He was very respectful going into it. Obviously, he wanted to win. I wanted to win. But like when those elbows were going, like I generally was like, I almost felt like I wouldn't be able to stop myself. Like, it was crazy. I think every fighter probably feels that when they get to a finish or they get close to a finish, like you just go absolutely insane, and you just don't want to. You don't want to stop these shots being fired to your opponent. And it's like a real like animalistic sort of crazy thing. But then, yeah, as soon as the fight was over and I had my little fiasco jumping over the cage, I was like, I was already like, you know, I wanted to go over to my opponent and make sure he was okay. But yeah, like I feel like I said, those losses and doing the sorts of training that I was doing afterwards that I to sort of aid my recovery. Yeah, that's what gave me sort of a bit more of a mental edge, which I obviously need to carry forward now into my next fights, because now there's obviously higher stakes on the line. But this is now where you just got to go out and show what you're all about. This is where you really prove yourself. I've been very fortunate in my last couple of fights to slowly show more of what I can do, and you know, be able to let out more of my skill set, which I haven't really, you know, it's almost like it's been locked in the closet waiting to sort of come out and like be shown out to everyone. And I haven't been able to do that before, and now it's slowly been able to get out. So now I feel like fighting on the highest stage, you know, I'm going to be able to do that even more. So,
well, yeah, as you obviously quite openly admitting, you know, it is a big step up in competition. You know, there's going to be a lot more hard work needed going into the UFC. But again, you know, we say step up in competition. A lot of them have come from where you're coming from. You know, I think they're in the 90s, even maybe in the hundreds of how many people have gone from Cage Warriors to the UFC over the years. Like recently, we had Nicholas Dalby, we had Jack Shaw go over there as well. You know, so
yeah, all well deserved. I mean, those guys are high level athletes, and it's nice to see them also. You know, see them succeed and them do well. It sort of, you know, motivates you and like, you know, inspires you as well. As like, you know, they've been doing really well in the promotion, you know, and stuff. And to see them that they're also, you know, they're gunning for you as well. Like, you know, we chat on occasionally on Instagram and stuff like that. To see those guys, like, you know, want to see you do well also. It's just a real nice thing that we got going on. Do you know what I mean? Like, just between the fighters and stuff like that, to see that everyone just wants everyone to do well. I think that's a really beautiful thing between fighters, even though we're out there, you know, having to be reckless and you know, go and, you know, beat people up for a living. At the same time, it's nice to see everyone's got that empathetic side, that, you know, they want to see everyone do well and succeed. And I think that's what, you know, that's where that level of respect in the game is still there. You know, although, you know, you see a lot of like trash talking this and that, there is still a high level of respect between fighters, and I think that's quite a beautiful thing, because that's a, you know, like a true meaning of martial arts, really.
That's it. That's what it's all about. That's what martial arts is all about. It's all about discipline and respect to your opponent and all that side of things. You're both competitors, and where martial arts originated, arguably in Japan, all those many hundreds, thousands of years ago, maybe. You know, like you see those fans, they will never boo. You know, they'll always applaud every fighter. You know, obviously, unfortunately, you can't say that for all the fans around the world. But that's it. It's what it's all about. It's all about respect and things like that. So now, obviously, you're stepping up to obviously the big time. Obviously, without giving too much away, are you making many changes at all? Are you going to be traveling around the world, different camps? Not saying you're at a camp which can't get you to where you need to be.
To be honest, I think, you know, like you know, when McGregor's been pretty much with the same camp like his whole career.
True.
And
Yeah.
I think, you know, you got to be with the same people that took you to the dance. And the thing is, I know that with the people that I'm training with, I've not even unlocked everything. It's like, you know, like you're unlocking superpowers on a computer game, and like that's your team, like building up your XP points or whatever. I feel like I've not even really unleashed all of the XP points that I could probably possibly get. Like, there's still lots of things that Danny teaches me, for example, that I have yet still to learn and still master and still conquer in sparring and training and this and that. And like, I feel like there's still like a massive amount that I need to learn. Same with my dad as well. Like, even though, you know, I'm his son, I've been training with him for years, and you feel like, oh yeah, there's probably not much out of the book that you can probably throw at me, but mate, there's always something new. So that's what I've got to be thankful and grateful for. And like all my jiu-jitsu and, like, you know, the wrestling training and stuff like that, there's so many guys that always push me. Like, if I was at the stage where no one was pushing me and I wasn't, you know, like, then yeah, I'll need to find somewhere else. But I'm getting pushed all the time, and it's really quite lovely that I'm able to go into my camps in London and feel like I'm always getting high level competition. I always feel like I'm improving and you know, leveling up. So I think that's a really important thing. Don't get me wrong, there's like loads of camps that are great. Obviously, I went to Jackson's. You know, they've got a real good thing going over there. But, you know, like, I think
you don't want to travel too much and give yourself fatigue from travelling as well, and also cost as well. It's not free, this stuff, you know.
Well, that's another big thing. Obviously, it's not like I very fortunately had a sponsor to pay for my trips to go out. Like when I went to Brazil to train at Team Nogueira. So, you know, like, obviously I had those covered. I mean, I had Andrei Arlovsky pay for me to stay an extra week. So, you know what I mean? Like, again, I've been truly blessed to have those sort of opportunities. Even when I was at the Body Power Expo, you know, John Jones was saying how, you know, he would like me to come over and he would pay for me to come over to help him for Thiago Santos. But obviously that was too close to my world title fight. So I needed to concentrate on my thing. Otherwise, you know, I think that would have been an amazing experience to help him out. But yeah, like I say, I've got everything I need here. My style is really and truly blossoming now because of all the coaches that I have, and I feel like I'm going to get the best out of myself because they all let me they don't try and change anything too much. Like, you know, they're just trying to add layers to my skill set as opposed to, no, we've got to change this part of your game. Like, even my dad, like, before, he wanted me to do certain things, then realized, well, hold on a second, he actually does that really well. Let's let him do that. We'll let him do that and let him feel his way in. And I think that's the best way that's the way you're gonna get the most out of yourself. So yeah, I've got an amazing team, and I can't wait for what the future holds in terms of, you know, training and learning with everyone.
That's it, mate. And do you find, you know, well, obviously you've done a good bit, you've done quite a lot, as you can probably admit. You know, we've spoken about it before, travelling around the world, training with all sorts of fighters. You know, I hang out with Arlovsky. He's even paid for stuff for you. You know, it's pretty cool. You know, and do you are those experiences like made it not so like what's the word I'm looking for? As much pressure, because, you know, you have mixed with the UFC fighters before, you've trained with UFC fighters before. You're not going to be surprised at the type of level it's all of a sudden going to jump to potentially. Yeah.
So one thing that always gave me the confidence and always gave me the belief that, you know, I'll be able to do something big one day is the time that I went to spar with Jones. You know, I was 22. I was still very raw. My skill set was nowhere near where it is now, and, you know, I haven't even had the level of fights to get me sort of. I was only 4-0. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fact that I was, you know, sparring with him, and he almost felt like, obviously I learned a tremendous amount from him. I mean, bloody hell, he threw me around like a rag doll, like for the first couple of weeks, especially with all the wrestling. But, you know, like, to see him like have belief in me as well, and like when we're sparring, like, you know, he saw like to have one of the greats look at you and think, do you know what? There's something about this kid. Like, you know, he doesn't say that to everyone. Like, and for him to choose me to spar with me and stuff like that, it was like, it's truly like a very, like, it was truly like a humbling experience. You know what I mean? Like, the best in the world wants to train with you, and you know, he feels like he's getting better with you. So that's the sort of experience that made me realize that, you know what, I will fight at the world level someday. Obviously, I felt like, after that experience, I'm like, there's nothing that could take, nothing that could stop me really. Just let me keep training, let me keep improving my thing. But obviously, I had a lot of lessons that needed to be learned mentally, which have helped me so far in my fight career. So, and even then, to have Jones right on my wall when I said that I'd signed, you've been working extremely hard for this and blah blah blah. It's nice to see that, like the greats are appreciating the work that you've been putting in. So listen, my dad's always believed in me as well. Like, he's always said, even when I was at the lowest of the low, like literally, I felt like I had nothing. Like, when everything just, the shit hit the fan and, things weren't going great, he was always there supporting me, telling me, Modestas, you've got an amazing skill set. To have as well, like, as much as, you believing in yourself and this and that, you've got to have people around you that really care about you, man. Like, I feel that's a big thing in fight camp. I think, like, a lot of people seem to just like look to find guys. Like, of course, you need to find like who the best guys are for training and blah blah blah. But as well, you've got to have guys that really care about you. So the fact that I've got such care around me, it's quite an amazing thing, because then they're really looking out for your best interests and want you to sort of improve. But yeah, like for a long time now, like I said, from my past couple of fights, I'm like, now the skill set that I'm acquiring and getting towards myself, that's what eventually is leading towards me now feeling like this is the next logical step up. As the competitions have stepped up, I've also stepped up to the plate. I've also increased my skill set. I feel like now is exactly the right time. At 22, 23, that was very premature for me to go anywhere onto the big stage. So I'm happy that I've had those lessons, because now that's built me up to where I am now. And yeah, like you said, I don't feel as much pressure, because I felt like I was destined to be here. And obviously I put in the work. I think when you prepare enough, you're never gonna. If I didn't prepare or I didn't feel like I trained hard enough, you'd always have that little bit of doubt creeping in. So I'm lucky that I never have that doubt, because I'm always training my ass off.
No, yeah, and I know you always train your ass off. If anyone who follows you on Instagram, and I advise they do, you're always training. You're always in the gym, mate. Always sweating your ass off. Obviously, it's quite amusing at times as well, some of the stuff you do, which I always seem to interact with as well. I can't help myself, mate. Some of the stuff, I'm not going to spoil it for everyone. You've got to go and check out yourself. Just type in his name. Luckily for him, there's not thousands of people who fight called his same name as him. So you're okay. You'll find him quite easily.
Oh man, I appreciate the plug. That's a good advertisement right there. I need you to be my PA, man.
I'll be your PA, mate. So 2 sugars? Yeah, do you like milk?
Yeah.
Man. So what's the Instagram followers like at the moment? Have you had a bit of an increase since your signing?
Yes, I have actually. I've actually had a lot of followings from Lithuania, funny enough. But that was to be expected. I mean, I believe. I've seen loads of different posts everywhere, but I believe I'm the first Lithuanian-born athlete to sign with the UFC, or like to an outright contract. I know there was Julia; she went on the Ultimate Fighter, but I'm not sure exactly what happened after that, because she was a Lithuanian-born athlete as well. So yeah, I had a lot of Lithuanians sort of follow me and write to me, which was very nice. Like I sort of felt very patriotic, having the hometown people sort of get behind me. But yeah, I mean, look, I was on like 2,600 before I said that I'd signed, and then literally within these couple of weeks now that I've announced everything, I'm on like almost 3,900. So it's slowly creeping up. I mean, I had a couple of cheeky follows from Take Me Out, as you would expect.
Yeah. We're coming to that, by the way. Yeah, don't worry, we are coming there.
Oh my God! I was hoping we could sort of brush past that one.
No,
but...
it's coming now. I'm not going to let you try and brush that one. We're coming. Don't worry.
Oh my God! Yeah. So obviously, I had a bit of a good following from there. But at the end of the day, I've still yet to fight on the world stage. I believe that when I can go out there, really truly show my skill set, that's when the following will start creeping up. But you got to keep proving yourself. You got to keep showing what you're made of. It's nice that, you know, I'm getting more well known and this and that, but I've still got a long way to go. I know there's a lot of hard work to be done. So at the end of the day, I'm like, you know, I would never. When I was a kid, I always was the unpopular guy, or the guy that was trying to be the popular guy that never quite cut it. So, I mean, listen, that's why I don't know if I've exactly had a bit of an attention problem, but like I've always wanted to be just noticed. I just want to be that guy that, you know, people are talking about, and people like, you know, it's something that as a kid, every kid wants that. Every kid wants to have, like, you know, a bit of a highlight, you know, people talking good things about them, you getting good reviews, and, you know, like all the girls like wanted to get with you and this and that sort of that.
You like reassurance? Reassurance sort of thing, you know. Is that maybe what it could be potentially? Oh God, I feel like a psychiatrist. Jesus.
But yeah, no, it's true. Like I feel as well, like all those to have like all those sort of experiences now. It's like, it's weird how it's sort of come full circle. Like I said, I was a bit like a goofy kid. I was very socially awkward. It took a lot of experiences in my life to finally break out of my shell. And I have to admit, Take Me Out was one of those experiences that actually made me sort of just be more of myself and just like embrace the pressure and the stressful situations of being in the cage and wanting to take on these. Like I've got a bit of like the you only live once sort of attitude, but not with, oh yeah, we can go party and take drugs and, you know, smash loads of girls and this and that. Nah, it's more the case of, you know, you only live once. You've got to do everything that you're fully capable. You want to get the most out of yourself. The only way you're going to do that is just to not care. Like feelings, I think, although, yeah, you know, but they're a little bit sort of almost irrelevant. You've got to push some certain things to the side because you're not going to unlock your sort of full potential. So
I just want to stop you there quickly, Modestas. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
that's coming from the man who went and stood in front of 30 girls and tried to pull them, by the way. just want to put that in there, by the way, quickly. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I can see how that ties in quite nicely to everything I'm saying.
Fair play to you, mate. Like, you wouldn't get me dancing on live TV, mate. Coming down that platform, dancing in front of loads of girls, mate, as well as live TV, mate. God, I'd rather go in a cage and get hit in the face.
Well, especially throwing out the horrendous shapes that I was throwing out there when I came down that bloody love lift, and especially when I remember I saw you posted a vid like a post, and you said, "Ladies and gentlemen, your cage was like heavyweight champion." I'm like, what are people going to think of me? They're going to think I'm like a pro wrestling star or something, not a bloody cage fighter. It's supposed to be fearsome and aggressive. Comes out there like shaking his ass in, you know, probably spray on pants. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it was funny, man. It was funny. So, like, I'll tell you what was more stressful, waiting at that top of that lift, that love lift, whatever they call it, or waiting to go through that curtain at your title fight?
Mate, honest to God, I felt way more relaxed at my title fight, especially my last one. Oh, mate, it's so weird. Like, I was in the changing room. I felt like I was having deja vu. Like, how is that even possible? Because I'd visualized a lot of things. I'd sit in my bed like literally every night, visualize the whole thing. I literally, a bit in my visualization came true. Like, as in, I felt I was in the exact same position as I was thinking about it in my head. As soon as that point happened, I just completely relaxed. Obviously, you get a little bit tense. You're like, oh yeah, I'm about to go and fight, but the nerves just completely just dropped out of me. Like, I was like, this is how it's supposed to happen. Like, as soon as that happened, I told all my coaches, I'm going to win. I've seen this. There's no way I'm losing. I'm telling you right now. Like, I so believed in it because, like, you know, you're supposed to have deja vu after an event has happened, not before it's happened. So, it was like, it was really weird. Like, I'd felt like I'd sort of already been there. But yeah, going down the love lift, mate, that was the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my life. And also because I was the last guy to come out as well. Like, if you think about it,
I was sitting there watching it. I was like, oh, hurry up.
When's this geezer coming up?
It's like, oh, it's like the main event, mate. You know, that's it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You have to save the best till last, right? Well, for that episode anyways. But so, like, you know, and it's good. I made some good friends from that show as well, but I still talk to them and everything. But yeah, so we're in this, like, like not exactly like we're in like a studio room. It's like a long like room, and all the guys are in there. You're all dressed up. You've all had your makeup done and this and that.
Makeup.
Yeah, they had. Listen, I had no choice in the matter. I was just like, well, I'll do whatever you lot tell me. If it makes me go from a 7 to an 8, I'll take that. You're just sitting there in that room, and you're getting your other friends pumped up. So like we all had like a good connection. We had a good group of lads. So we're all like, yeah, you fucking do it. You go and smash it, blah, blah, blah. And, as every guy's going out, I'm always like getting massively pumped up for my friends. And I'm like, like bigging them up and everything. But as you can imagine, like even from the last guy, like you can notice the room slowly getting quieter. Like all the producers and stuff like that was slowly exiting the building, and then finally it just comes to I was literally the only guy in that room, this long room. Think about it, like there was so many people in there before. Like I'm talking like there must have been like at least 12 people in there. Like it was quite crowded, like quite busy, like a load of producers, all the other guys, and then I'm just standing there by myself. And I'm literally talking to myself, trying to get me pumped. I'm like, Mo, you got this, like, and I was like thinking, like, I was literally like getting myself like pumped up, like I'm getting ready for a fight, but realizing that the nerves were like kicked up an even another level. And I was like, oh my God, why am I feeling like this? I was like, literally, I felt like my body's shutting down. I'm like, do you know what I mean? I can go out in front of thousands of people and go and try and beat someone up, but to go out in front of 30 girls in a studio room, like it was completely defeating me at that point. But then I started like jumping about. I was like literally like slapping my face. Like it was intense, man. It was crazy intense. And then then they say, oh, you're going to be up next. I was like, oh my God! Like all the other guys have got dates. I'm like, bloody hell, now everything rests on me. Like I was like, the pressure's even more on. Then they got me mic'd up and everything. And then you take like this long walk behind all the bits, and then you go to where the actual studio is, and they've got like massive curtains, so obviously that no one sees you, and you're walking behind these curtains around like the side of the studio, waiting to get, and then you're going up these little stairs, and you get to the top, and then obviously that's where that little circle where the love lift is, and there's like 2 or 3 producers there, and then they tell you to step into the love lift, and they talk to you, they get you, and you can hear downstairs like they've got the pump up guy, and you just hear the crowd going like you hear like all these people like like clapping and shouting and this and that, and like you hear the girls, like a couple of them like laughing in the background. You're like, oh my Lord, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like literally, like my heart was like racing. And then the producers go, yeah, just relax, you'll be absolutely fine. Just do what you normally did. Do what you did in the practice. You were great. I was like, yeah, thank you for your very inspiring words. It's definitely helping me here. But I was literally, that was probably the most scared I've ever been in my life. Like in that little circle. And then as soon as Paddy says, single man, reveal yourself, and you hear your music playing, I was literally saying to myself, I was like, oh shit. I was like literally like bouncing up and down in this lift, and then I was like, do you know what? I'm just start busting a move. Like I was like, do you know what? I was like, who cares if I look like an absolute maniac? I'm just gonna do my thing. And the thing is as well, because obviously my dad was there, my stepmom was there, a couple of good friends, and like some of my like old clients from where I used to work that I got really close to them. Even they were there as well, seeing me out there shaking my thing. But yeah, mate, when I finally got down there, I was literally, I couldn't look up. I had to look down at the floor. I'm like, this is crazy. Like you see these girls like clapping, but like you almost feel like you're gonna pass out. But then as you keep dancing and you keep doing it, your confidence starts to grow. You realize, hold on a minute, this ain't really that like too bad. As long as I just be myself and put myself out there, like I shouldn't be, there shouldn't be too much of a problem. The more nerve-wracking thing was trying to think of the comebacks, because mate, I tell you what, I'm not exactly the greatest when it comes to the witty comebacks. So I come up with occasional lines here or there, the good the one-liners and everything, but really and truly, if someone like disses me, I just laugh at myself. I'm like, okay, fair play, you got that one on me. But when it comes to like saying something back, I'm like, I always end up stuttering. But luckily for me that night, all those various copious amounts of coffee worked to my advantage, and I seemed to be quite on point that night. But yeah, the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my life, hands down. Like I swear it'll probably be the same like me doing skydiving or something, I'll probably have the same the same sort of nerves.
Do you know what though? What it could be nervousness. Imagine getting up there and all those lights just turned off. You'd be like, shit, I'll never hear the end of this. That'd have been it.
Chris, have you seen the state of me? Do you think that would really ever happen?
No, I knew you were going to say that. As soon as I was saying that, I was thinking, why am I even saying this? The man who never put the shirt on.
Hold on a minute. Don't feed this guy's ego. Oh, come on. You know me. Fighter. I've got to be confident and all that. So, oh, my Lord. Yeah, so, I mean, listen, there's always the fear of, are all the lights going to turn off? But then I'm like, hopefully I'm not giving them too much reason to turn the lights off. I genuinely thought in my head, I don't think I've actually got enough reasons for them to turn the light off. Like you're thinking, you're actually literally in your head trying to tell yourself all the reasons that they shouldn't turn their lights off for you. And you're sort of like deliberating in your head, like, yeah, you should be fine. But mate, when they played like the religion thing on the VT, and like literally, I swear to you, like 20 girls turned the lights off. I was like, this is not good. I'm like, this is not the sort of reaction I was hoping for. And then, but then, yeah, like even after the performance, I think like 4 girls turned the lights off. I was like, I'm throwing a guy in my underwear and like armbarring him. I mean, throwing up some crazy kicks. I'm like, surely that's worthy of you to at least keep your light on. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you've all got to play the game and this and that. So I can understand some of the girls want to stay on the show a bit longer. They're like, oh, maybe there'll be a better guy that'll come next week. And you know how it is. Like, listen, at the end of the day, it's a fun show, and it's good because it's another way for me to show like more of my personality. Because listen, when you're in the cage and I'm talking, obviously I like to be very respectful, but they don't see like sort of my more playful side, which I feel like is a good thing. That even doing more interviews and talking with yourself and stuff like that, people can sort of get to know more like the real me, and hopefully that'll bring a bit more of sort of like a following, and I can connect with more people. Like even before, like I would never want to like meet new people. I always would be like kind of shy and didn't want to be the outspoken one and this and that. And now I'm just like, do you know what? It doesn't matter what anyone like really thinks. I'll just be myself. So I'm very thankful for having an opportunity like that, because that's actually helped me even more in the fight game. It's helped me to care less about I don't know. It's almost like your nerves are much, or you're able to handle the nerves a lot better, because I felt this before. You almost use it as like a positive, like a pump, like a hype up tool for yourself, as opposed to it's shutting me down. Whereas before I'll get into those situations, or like I'll go on a date with a girl and I'm like I wouldn't know what to say. So now it's just like, even if I sound like a baboon, do you know what I mean? Like I'll just do whatever, and it seems to be working quite well for me lately. So I'll just keep sort of like, if that's any advice to anyone out there, you know what I mean? Just be yourself. At the end of the day, the only way you're going to get the most out of yourself is if you truly just embrace what you are as a person. And even if that means being shy or whatever, if that's who you are, then just stay true to yourself. And what I've realized is that I'm definitely not a shy person. I'm a bit of a party fool, really. Obviously, like, don't get me wrong, I train my ass off every day. But in terms of my personality outside the cage, I'm extremely goofy, and I'm sure that even the girl that won't take me out would probably vouch for that as well, especially after seeing what the date went like on the show.
I didn't see that bit, of the show and
yeah.
stuff. So obviously you walk out of there, you get there. How quick were you on a plane?
Literally the next morning.
Oh, the next morning.
So
and they did actually. What's it like? They fly away. Is it actually quite a decent hotel and place they put you in?
The first one was so it's Tenerife basically. So Isla Fernandez, as they call it. You're there with the lads. The first. Do you know what's even crazier? I was supposed to be fighting like 2 weeks after I'd done the show, so I was cutting weight. Like I was like, I have to eat well. Like, oh my God, there's so many nice things to eat out there and this and that. And I'm like, I've got to stay on point because, I'm going to be fighting soon. So I've got to make sure my weight. So I'm literally sitting there eating salads, and like the lads are like eating rice, like fried chicken, Do you know what I mean? Like getting dessert, and then they're all like hanging out because obviously, you know, I swear to you, it must have been a 5-star, 6-star hotel, mate. It was insanity. The first one that we went to was insane. So I was there in the fitness room, like running, shadow boxing, trying to like, do you know what I mean? Try and stay in good shape. And it was good. I had the lads to sort of come there and again, you know, like sort of pump me up, you know, and sort of train a little bit with me as well. But yeah, but so it got to like the next morning, and they take you to, because they had the morning date with the evening date. I felt, Joe, I was so jealous of the guys who got to do the evening date because they actually got to stay in that 6-star hotel for like the good part of most of the day, really. And obviously they had like amazing pools, like, you know, like it was such a nice scenery. Like it felt like you were like literally in a resort, like, you know, like you're going with your mates or whatever to some next crazy villa. So then we went to a date, like literally we went to the back arse of nowhere. Like I swear to you, I don't know where the hell we were. We're like at the top of this mountain somewhere, and then they wanted to start filming outside, and then it starts raining, and then they're like, oh well, we can't do it here now. So I'm like, well, great, we just literally filmed pointless stuff for about half an hour. So what we can do now? And then they had to move everything inside, and it was like very deserted. But we had a good time. Obviously, we were doing wine tasting, so I wouldn't be, you know, I definitely think I was a little bit tipsy there. But yeah, as soon as we got into like after the date, you all go to eat with like your date and like the rest of the producers, and then that's it. That's when everything becomes very relaxed. Like you're not filming anything after that point. But yeah, we went from like a 6-star hotel to like a 3-star hotel. Like it was a bit of a contrast. Like, you know, obviously I can understand there's budgets and this and that, but it was like, you know, like the standard of hotel like was completely different. There was like no like, you know, crazy spa facilities or anything like that. It was like literally like, you know, military style, like bunk beds and do you know what I mean? Like, you know, where you go to a hostel when you're getting ready for Ibiza or something. Not that I know what that's like because I've never been to Ibiza, but, you know, that's what I'm probably guessing it's going to be like. But, yeah, that's literally what it was like the evening of your day. And then, yeah, the next morning you're pretty much going back home. So it was done within 4 days, which is mad to think that whole experience, like, it was a lot to take in just 4 days. But to be honest, I was quite happy to be home and just back into training because in my mind, man, I was just thinking about fighting. And even to this day, man, all I'm thinking about is fighting. Like whenever people talk about like all like these events and things that are coming up, I'm like, to be honest, mate, I really can't be thinking about that. I can't be bothered too much by it because I'm almost like overly obsessive. Like even if I, you know, have a little like injury or whatever, like I haven't even, you know, I only mentioned it after my fight. You know, I dislocated my knee 3 weeks prior to my fight. And I thought, oh my God, like, and I really was so close to pulling out because I thought this is not good. But obviously I tried to keep a straight head and everything because my leg felt quite unstable. I had a very good physio. I mentioned her at the end of the fight, but Leanne, Distinct Physiotherapy, she is an absolute wizard. Got me doing exercises. She saw me the next day after it happened as well, which is mad. She saw me literally the next morning. She called me at 12 o'clock that night. I'm talking like midnight. And then she said, yeah, just come in the morning and we'll check it out for you. She told me exactly what to do. And then I was able to sort of get back in there. So sorry, I just went off on a bit of a tangent there.
Yeah,
I've completely lost my train of thought even now, but yeah. So I've got to be real thankful with her that she that she helped me with that. But see, this is when, you know, when your mind's completely infused in all the training and like the fighting, you're sort of, you know, these things sort of can happen. But I've been very thankful that my training partners, they all take care of me. Like at the same time, like we train hard, like we do our thing, but they all try not to hurt me. They try and make sure that I'm just getting the best out of myself, and they all do it for me. Like this is what, like, it's almost like I'm like, I feel so blessed. Like the guys literally do everything to help me do good. They're like, don't worry about me, you drill. Like they'll get me to drill 5 or 6 times, but I'm like, maybe you need to drill as well. And he goes, no, don't worry about it. You're the one that needs to do this. You're the one who's fighting in these big shows. And I'm like, do you know what I mean? That just shows. Like I said, you've got to be with people that care about you. And you know, I'm thankful that I've got people that care about me out there.
No, that's it. You've got everything going for you. Going to the UFC now is definitely the right time for you. If, as I said, you've got the right people behind you, you've got the right experiences when you went abroad, and as I said, even sparred with someone like John Jones, which is an incredible achievement in itself. You know, you're a fighter that Dana White likes. He likes people that come to fight. You know, don't just back off and try and get the, you know, like ground, like just hold them on the ground and stuff like that. So, and you've got the right mental attitude, and you're at the right age as well, as some could arguably say. So
Yeah,
that's it, mate. You really got that. It's ready to go, and you went through the test of Take Me Out. You know, that's probably like more nerve wracking than walking up against, you know, going in there against someone like John Jones. You know, so
that was that was the real best preparatory tool to get me ready for the UFC, was being on Take Me Out. Really, I mean, forget all these hard rounds that I've been doing. Walking out in front of 30 girls, if you can do that, you can do anything.
Just quickly, what's he like? Well, I bet Paddy McGinn. I bet he's a good bloke as well in real life.
Oh, he's lovely. He's absolutely lovely. I understand his mind's everywhere. Like, I even messaged him to ask him if he wanted to come to my fight, and he actually responded to me, which I thought was mad. But I didn't even think he'd respond to me. But yeah, he's literally the most like giving, loving sort of character. Like, even when I was drilling, like basically I had to tell him like what my performance would be, and I think he's done a bit of martial arts as well before, but he was very open to everything that I was doing with him and stuff like that. And yeah, like he really tries to help you out there. Like, if you're, for example, on the show, they don't show that, like literally they go through every single girl and ask them why they turned the lights off, why they kept it on. But obviously, in the show that they show on TV, they don't show all of that.
They didn't realise that. So they go to every girl and ask them why they turn the lights off. Okay.
Yeah, on the live show, they go through most of the girls. Like, they literally, but then obviously because they need a lot of content to figure out where the best parts were. Yeah. So obviously they need to ask a load of, you know. But Paddy, he would literally see you. If you can't answer back, he will literally move on straight to the next girl. He can tell. He's so good at that. But that's why I had to sort of project my voice a little bit, because that's the only way you're going to have to like sort of cut in and like say your piece. Otherwise he's very good at, you know, like keeping the show flowing. And obviously he's a natural, like, you know, this is what he does. You know, he does a lot of presenting. He's been, you know, he does Top Gear and everything. But yeah, he's just like a general lad, isn't he? Like, you know,
that's what I thought he would.
He's the same like everyone. I mean, even if you see on his Instagram, he's a funny guy, you know. So I think that's funny. Every sort of celebrity that, you know, most celebrities that you see, they're just like every other like, you know, they're just like normal people. They just may, you know, like I say, they just show themselves out a bit more. They're a bit more outgoing and this and that. But really and truly, they have the same fears. They have the same, you know, thoughts going as any other regular person. So it's quite nice to see that as well, to show that, you know, all, you know, we're not all superhuman. We're all mortals, really. We're just trying to handle it as best we can.
That's it, mate. And I can't wait to see how you do handle it in there. It's going to be a fantastic experience for you, and I can't wait to see it happening. And at the end of all this, you know, it's going to make you a nice living in the long run as well, which I know for you isn't the most important thing, but it helps, doesn't it? You know, it means you can do what you love, mate. You know, and get paid. So that's the best thing, really.
Well, for me as well, I just want all the people who are close to me, all the people who have been there for me since the hard times, the good times, and this and that. I just want everyone to be sorted out. Like, I want to help my dad. I want to help. I already said this, and it's on my whiteboard. You know, my first fight in the UFC, I'll win the $50,000 bonus and give it to my mom and dad. Help it to put it on their mortgage. Help it to pay off a car, or I don't know whatever they need. I want to be able to help them, because for me, as much as, I can go and, like, you know, save some money or then go and buy myself something nice or whatever, it's not, you know, that's not the whole thing. Like, I've got to be able to give back to the people that gave to me. Like, Connor says it all the time, but it's so true. When you're in that situation, all I want to do now is just give back. I want to help them, because they put in so much effort with me, and I feel like I'm in a massive debt to everyone. Like, I'm just like, imagine if, like, the feeling for me, like, to be able to buy my dad a brand new car, or to buy my mum something or whatever, or to take off a massive stress or something, that, like, emotionally would feel more satisfying than, I'll go and buy myself a Bentley, do you know what I mean, or whatever. Like, so obviously with all the things that come with it, and obviously you just got to keep training, you know, hopefully with all the success and everything, I just want us all to make it. and everyone around me. I just want everyone just to sort of be up there with me, enjoying the fruits of the success. So, yeah, I can't wait for the whole journey, man. It's only the start of the roller coaster. Like I say,
plenty more interviews to come. Plenty more chats for us to come.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And as I say, it's always a pleasure talking to you, my friend.
And Doris, another said, you can look after people that are always with you. So at the end of this, I'll send you my PayPal details. Don't worry, man. It's fine. You know, I'll see it as charity, and I'll put it to something good. You know, it's fine.
That's it. I'll give you a bit of good promotion, mate. You know, I'm always here for you. Yeah, no, of course.
Oh, mate, brilliant. Well, before I let you go, I want to ask you one more thing. I know you don't call people out or anything like that, but as from a competitive point of view, who would you? Is there anyone in particular you'd like to go against as your first fight, your second, or even third fight at all?
Listen, if I had a genuine person to sort of call out and say that I wanted a fight, and I think it would be an interesting fight, I would say so. But really and truly, until I'm, like right now, I'm not even I'm not cracking the top 15. When I start cracking the top 15, then I can start calling certain people out. But until then, I'm not so sure of, the pool of, because I know there's like a lot of light heavyweights and there's a lot of UFC light heavyweights that I probably don't even know, and they probably don't even know that I'm there. So at the end of the day, whatever challenge is thrown at me, I will be preparing extensively to again, I'm going for the finish. I'm not going there to win by decision. I want to go and finish any opponent that I have. And that is something that I'm going to bring to the table every single time. I'm going to bring the most ferocious side out of me every single fight from here on out, because now this is like the world stage, and this is where I finally get to really explode with all the talent that I know I have. So really and truly, I'm not 100% sure about what my next fight will be. All I know is that the next person I'll fight, I'm literally going to give him the full extent of my skill set, and I'm going to go and blaze through whoever they got for me. So all I'll say is they know I'm ready. I know I'm ready. So as soon as the contract gets signed, it's on.
Oh, man, I can't wait. And are you allowed to say, or do you even know when the fight will be, your first fight in the UFC?
So it will not be London. I know a lot of people have been asking me, but it won't be London. But I have rumours that there may be somewhere in sort of May, June in Europe. So wherever that may be, obviously I'm thinking that that's where I'll get put through. Obviously I need to be in the drug testing pool for a little bit as well with USADA. So until I get, fully cleared with all of them, because they got to drug test me a couple of times, then yeah. So really I think I'll be fighting in sort of the second quarter. So, hopefully May, June sort of time. So, shouldn't be too long, but obviously I've got plenty of time to work on my skill set. And then as soon as I know, mate, you lot will know.
And I can't wait to see who they're going to put you up against. I could string off a few names I'd love to see you fight against, I reckon, I think you could take some of those top 15 people straight away. In my eyes, and that's just not a biased saying. I really do think some of them you could easily, I was not going to say easily, but you're definitely up to scratch with those sort of fighters.
I appreciate that, mate. Appreciate that.
But we'll have to wait and see. Like as I said, you're a sort of fight Dana White likes. Keep getting KOs, keep getting finishes and stuff, and you've seen how quickly some people make their way up the ladder, and things like 100%. that. And that's what it's all about, mate. So before I let sorry, mate, what were you gonna say?
No. I was just agreeing with what you're saying.
That's it, and then join the pool of all a lot of other Cage Warriors champions which have come through to UFC. So following the footsteps of a lot of people who join that list, Because I think Cage Warriors on their website have an alumni section, of people who've got. So you'll be added to that now, which is always nice as well. It's basically. Fame.
It's amazing. It's amazing, and it was good how they treated me, and they sort of then really promoted me after that title win. So now this is where the legacy starts getting created. So a lot more hard work, but like you said, I'm going to be 26 next month. But, still relatively young in the game. So I've got plenty of time to just keep building and then keep trying to take out as many people as possible on the way to the top.
That's it, mate. Not a bad place to be at 25, and especially a UK fighter as well, as obviously the exposure over here. Obviously, it's getting a lot better, but, the Americans and certain other places in the world get the exposure a bit better. So to be in the organisation at 25 years old, opposed to, maybe having to fight in organisations for the next 3 to 4 years, you've got a good, easily 11 years, in the organisation, if not more, if not a lot more, because only 36, like 37. So, but you could do what you could do in those 11 years. Look what you've done in the space of a year,
Yeah.
So 11 years is a long time.
Yeah, that's it, man. Just got to keep plodding away, keep getting better, keep trying not to get smashed in too much in training, and then just go out there and do my thing. Just be confident and just be myself, like I have been doing this whole time. And like I say, I just can't wait now to finally let people know what I'm all about. Get on that world stage, get in front of a crowd of tens of thousands of people, and get in that UFC octagon, feel the canvas on the floor, wear the UFC gloves, the Reebok kit. It's going to be quite an experience, and I can't wait. And I know my team's going to be really happy to enjoy that whole experience with me also.
That's it, mate. And the hardest part of it is trying to be a fanboy when you're walking in the back room with all the other UFC fighters. I'd find it. I find it a nightmare in the media row. Like we were at Bellator recently, and I'm looking behind me, and you've got people like, what's that? You've got Johnny Walker just behind me, and things like that. And then you've got David Hay walking around. You've got Big Nasty, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, what's going on? Right? It's like be professional. Be professional. Be professional. It's like, right, picture. Oh, it's Hoist Gracie. Like I couldn't help myself. It was Hoist Gracie, man. Do you know what I mean? I was like, what do you expect me to do? And Chael Sonnen,
the most extensive selfie collection in the game.
I've got a lot, to be fair. I can't help myself, mate. Because I've watched the sport for a long time, and I love it how lots more people are watching the sport now, and it's getting a bit more popular. And it's great to see some of these people I watched when I was really young. I watched them all come up through their careers, like Brad Pickett and people like that.
Yeah,
mate.
You got to enjoy it, man. You got to enjoy it. Like I say, you got all these legends running about. Do you know what I mean? You might as well, mate. The memories that we create in life are the biggest thing. You'll be looking back on it, and you'll be like, oh, I got a picture with this guy. I got to talk to this guy, and but at the end of the day, those are the things that live with you forever. Is the memories. So the more you create those, man, the more fulfilling and enjoyable this whole experience we call life is.
That's it, mate. Getting to talk to UFC fighters. I wouldn't have thought I'd be doing that a year ago. So there we were. That's the way to look at it.
There we go. Working our way up, man. We're working our way up.
I'll follow you up that ladder, mate. Definitely. Well, before you go, man, as always, give a shout out to any of your sponsors, any people that help you get you where you are. Just anyone at all, mate.
Right. We'll go through the list. But there's obviously I've got an amazing group and support network of people that have helped pay for literally a whole load of things, helped me to be able to train full time and everything like that. But I've got to give a big thank you as always to my dad. The Gintas Combat name lives on, and it lives on strong. And I'm extremely excited to just continue living on the Bukauskas name. And obviously he's putting heart and soul into me, and I can't thank him enough. I've got to thank Danny Batten and Raymond, Paul, and Lucas, and all the guys at BST Academy. Been a massive help. They've helped me level up massively. I've got to give them amazing credit. As well, everyone at Roger Gracie's Academy. I used to spar with Roger Gracie back in the day, and he's always been amazing help and giving me loads of new skills and stuff like that. And I've got to really thank him for that. Mill Hill BJJ as well. Ed Ingamel's given me some great new tools. So he's an amazing fella and always helped me out, and all the training partners. They're obviously everyone at Legion Wrestling. I mean, listen, these guys are like next level with their wrestling. So you're going to see a lot more skill sets being thrown out there in my future fights, especially working with the likes of those people. Distinct Physiotherapy I've already mentioned, but she's an absolutely amazing woman. I mean, listen, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been able to get back into the fight after dislocating my knee for the second time. So I was real happy that she was able to help me out. I've got to thank Seven and RG. It's a newer sponsor of mine, but listen, their CBD products are top notch. Like, I don't just promote it because it's part of the deal. No, they are literally legit, and it tastes absolutely amazing. And my dad can definitely vouch for that as well. Got to thank Merakilo for sending me out some good, cool gear. Sanctipue, a guy from Take Me Out, that's actually one of his companies, so got to thank him. MMA for kids. My man, like, literally has been helping, support me and like give me money and stuff like that to help with training. So I've got to thank him. Mauler MMA, a big time brand. I've got to say, you've got to get on that because I'm wearing their tracksuit right now, and I swear to God, is like literally one of the most comfortable tracksuits in the game. And it's with a guy with good intentions, he's got a good heart, and his products are like really, really top level, especially like the sparring gloves and everything like that. I've got to thank Fighter Shop UK. Another amazing guy. Literally, I just asked him, if he could get me a pair of like Venom boxing boots, and he's ordered them. He's got my size and everything. It's like, bloody hell. I mean, what more could you ask for? Like, literally, anytime I need something, he always tells me. I always got all my walkout t-shirts. Nice. So, listen, there's a whole array of people that have helped me out and supported me, and this is why I'm doing so well. This is why, because I've got such loving and caring people around me, and I'm so grateful and so happy. And like I said, one day when I do the business, everything that they've invested into me is all going to pay off, because we are all going to come up and rise up together, and then we're all going to be in that pool in Las Vegas, celebrating, enjoying the fruits of success that's coming from all this hard work and all this sacrifice that we're having to make right now. But it's all going to pay off, and I can't wait. And I've got a great network. Roll on 2020.
It's going to be good, mate. I can't wait. I can't wait to document and follow your career all the way through, and just generally keep in touch with you, mate, over the time. And don't forget, just remind people, obviously, I know it's obvious what your social networking is, but just spell your name for him, man.
Right. Actually, on Instagram, it's MODYB24. A lot easier. But on my Instagram and on my Facebook and stuff like that, it's Modestas Bukauskas. So MODESTAS BUKAUSKAS. And on Twitter, it's basically like my name. So MODESTS BUKAUS1. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's all my social media stuff.
Lovely, mate. And as I said to everyone, check it out. It's some funny stuff. He's always in the gym training, playing some like lovely backing tracks to all this stuff. It's definitely worth checking out. And hopefully we'll get in touch with the UFC production teams. When you make your first walk out, all it'll be on the back screen is not your name, it'll be you coming down that love lift. Okay? Now that'd be nice for you.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely sure that'd be quite a fitting thing, wouldn't it?
Could you imagine turning around on your day with UFC? You're like, yeah, and you turn around and like, why is everyone laughing at you? Look up and think, oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh god, they're still using that crap again. Bloody hell.
Quality, man. Oh, it's all good fun, mate. It's all good fun. Well, again, respect for coming on. I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time out of your day. Seeing as you said, you are, the superstar now. It's hard to get hold of you now. No, mate.
We're having to book appointments months in advance now.
Yep, that's it.
That's just what happens, isn't it?
That's it. Like, I literally asked him about the third day in July after our interview. I said, look, can I just book you in now? And here we are, 4 or 5 months later. So get your name in there. No, honestly, you're always a star. If I asked you to come, whenever I asked you for a chat, you're always willing to come on and have a chat whenever, and I really appreciate it, mate. It's always nice chatting to you. And again, can't wait to see what we're going to see from you in the near future, mate.
Oh, thank you so much, my friend. Like I said, it's always a pleasure. I really enjoy chatting to you also, mate. You've always been a real big fan of the game, and you've been so supportive. So I really appreciate that, brother. And can't wait to do many more interviews.
Yeah, man, you let me hold your belt. That made my day. Remember that. I'll never forget that day that you let me. He just won his cage warrior's belt. And I was like, excuse me, mate. No, I'm not being funny, but I'm media. I'm meant to be a neutral, but can I hold your belt? I could have been anyone.
Like, quick, take a picture. Yeah, I took the belt off him.
So yeah, man, I'll never forget that, mate. So yeah, much appreciated again, and hopefully I'll be going from chatting to you backstage at Cage Warriors press rooms. I'll be talking to you at UFC press rooms, mate.
There we go, mate. The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit.
That's it, man. Well, again, thanks very much, mate, and I will speak to you very soon.
All right, nice one, brother. Thank you so much.
If you've liked this podcast, be sure to subscribe on iTunes. We're live every Sunday at 8:30pm talking MMA. Go to facebook.com/Martial Arts Chat, give us a like there, and follow us on Twitter at Martial Arts Chat.
your heart.